Oh, my official task at this point is to talk to, I guess, that novice, and he'll take me to Prior to have a very important chat with him and Kessel and Riordian, but I don't want to do that just yet. I want to explore the perimeter of this island, which is a little bit more complicated than I thought it might be. Oh, there's the teleport. And so all this delay stands a good chance to annoy the prior of the monastery. We'll see what he has to say about that. So I need to also equip my telekinesis into slot 4 now. For my force of habit. Let's see, I got 78 learning points. It's like, good grief, what am I going to spend this on? How about if I offer 25 to increase my protection by +5? That's not a bad way to spend 25 learning points. Yeah, okay. Might be worth possibly looking into a Innos shrine to... I forget, I think he gives you free health or something if you pay learning points or gold? In Gothic 2, I believe it was you would pay 100 gold, like, per day or something, and then you would get either one specific stat bonus or one of 2 different stat bonuses depending on your guild. I did a little bit of testing on that earlier. I don't remember what the results were, so I would have to effectively just pray at a Shrine of Innos and see what happens. Let's see, I would assume that across that bridge is where the Prior would be. I see a fireweed down below the bridge. Ooh, they do let me almost walk over here. If I let go of the walk key, am I gonna fall to my death? That might actually be considered a fire route. Question is... Okay, I can get back up that way. Maybe, if the gate is open. Let me check that. Well, that gate is closed. There was a dude there at one point, though. So I don't know if he would let me back in or not. I would have to go all the way somewhere and find a teleporter pad, I guess. So let me not drop down there. Just to save myself the time and hassle of dealing with all that.
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
Nothing to be had there.
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
There's still a heal medium wounds rune over yonder, which I don't need and don't want. to me, it looks like I can come across here, no problem. Jump. Not that there was any benefit to coming over here. I do not see anything. Nothing of value to loot. Hey, you.
Ej, ty. Mógłbyś mnie wypuścić?
Ależ oczywiście.
Oh. Well, that worked. But of course. So maybe he would let me up. Or let me in if I had approached from the outside. Either way, that allows me the opportunity to grab what I think is a fire root. Is there any possibility for me to get up onto these walls? Hey, it's an old coin. That's something at least. Although it looks like I could have just jumped over from that ledge there, not having to climb up so high. Yeah. Not so certain about getting up to the other side, so maybe I'll just leave that one alone. That's as far as I can get safely while holding the walk button. So if I jump, land here, grab the fire root. There's a fire lizard and a lizard over yonder. Now, how do I get down over there? I see a skeleton below me with a little sparkly. Oh dear. Jeez. This is amazing how often you try to just step off a ledge and then it like ramps you off a water slide. Here's the Amulet of Martyr. Protection 3, that's great. I already have one that does 8 and 15. But at least I got a unique reward. Ooh, there's a cave. Look at that. Here's that magic ore cave that I saw from underground. With just one magic ore deposit. It's pretty cool. Oh. Wow. This is kind of neat. Wandered into a little cemetery. Hey, what is this doing here? Why would there be a shrine of Innos? But here I can offer 100 gold to get 10 health. So that's something. And it might be the case where you have to sleep and only do it once per day like it was in Gothic 2, in which case I don't want to waste another 100 gold if it's not going to give me a bonus. Because the gods are only worth my prayer when they give me direct mechanical benefits. Oh wow. Partially buried wolf. Why is this only partially buried like that? Why would there be a shrine to Innos out here behind the monastery of Adenos? Like, is there what's the lore explanation for that going to be? Because from what I understand, the original peoples of the Wolfzak clan were more supporters of Adenos, and it wasn't until the Myrtanians showed up that Innos as a source of worship became a thing. And there would have been limited chapels put up in the early days before the big old cathedrals put up in town. I think I remember hearing that this monastery was started to be built, at least in the earlier days of the Wolfzak clan before the Myrtanian invasion. And if that's the case, then I wonder if at any point the Myrtanians would have tried to take it over and put a shrine of Innos somewhere? Or is that just like... Or is that just like a respect to Innos to say like, okay, we'll put a shrine to Innos in the cemetery to sort of balance out the death. I don't know. I'm very curious to know if that will be explained.
Jak się...
Muszę przyznać.
Still nothing with him. Where's that gardener? He's straight ahead, I think. There he is. Hey you. I have a seed.
Mam dla ciebie nasiono.
Świetnie, pokaż.
Have a fire nettle.
O cholera, zdobyłeś je. Magowie powinni być z tego naprawdę zadowoleni.
An elixir of life.
Nie ukułeś się jak zbierałeś? To paskudztwo potrafi zostawić bardzo swędzące plamy na rękach.
Speed potion.
Dzięki. Przy odrobinie szczęścia uda mi się stworzyć nową odmianę. Jeśli tylko... A, tak. Proszę, to dla ciebie.
Pure life energy.
Pięknie. Podobno całkiem nieźle smakuje przysmażone na patelni, ale sok z dojrzałej rośliny jest o wiele cenniejszy. To wszystkie z listy.
Elixir of Spirit.
Dzięki za pomoc. Teraz nawet ogrody ze Starego Miasta nijak się mają do mojego.
Magowie nie będą niezadowoleni, że zabrałeś im tyle mikstur?
Daj spokój. Tyle tego przyrządzają, że nie zauważą braku kilku sztuk. Mam nadzieję.
Okay. So collector, complete. I gave the gardener the seeds he needed. At least it was an opportunity to get some exercise. Really, I mean, the potions were the main incentive. Because there's an elixir of life, maximum hit points. Elixir of spirit, maximum mana. And then it was a speed potion, which I think is... Okay, just the regular one. And what was the other one I got? Pure life energy, or something like that. So still nothing with Kondak, and then I'm still supposed to report to that guy. Now, is there any other space on this island that I could really explore? I think that path to the right is east of the monastery is leading back to the cemetery, so that probably doesn't lead me anywhere important. Or, I should say, anywhere that I haven't already been. But there's obviously more stuff to find and slay in this direction, including a super valuable King's Sorrel. I think that's 2 sorrels of the kings that I have found, just on the perimeter of this monastery alone. And that's potentially 6 strength if I find more dragon roots, more roots of the dragons. Don't really see anything below me. Oh, goodness. The land almost jettisoned me. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to drop down there. Do not feel a strong compulsion to check. But that might be just about the extent of the exploration. So how about if I report for duty? Who is this woman walking around? Is that a refugee? Since when do they walk around? I thought they always just lied in bed all day. Interesting. I still can't talk to her.
Hej, ty.
How you doing?
Jak leci?
Magowie są
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I have lockpicks. Which means I can rob the monastery now. Break into places I'm not supposed to be. Steal things from chests. That's my new word for treasure chest. All these potions and apples I can't take. By golly. In fact, one of those potions looks a lot like a cure for yarn. You see that one in the front center? Looks a lot like a cure for yarn, if you ask me. There's wines and alcohols I can't take. Now, earlier I did get accused of a crime when I picked a plant out of somebody's little garden pot. I think officially I'm supposed to owe Roderick $50 or something. It remains to be seen if I'll get in trouble for stealing any of the contents of these crates if I were to be seen. Some of these aren't even giving me a combo. Okay, so where are other locked doors or chests that I might want to open? He's got nothing. There might have been one or two in the basement area. Nope. Don't remember there being any in here. And this leads out to the cemetery, right? It's got the arrow pointing along the path towards the cemetery. You're the guy who got upset at me for taking a thing, so are you gonna care that I steal from this big chest?
Łapy precz!
He did care. And he somehow knew about it. Hey, I got an apple out of it. And possibly also a lack of crime. But this was totally worth beating up a poor novice in the monastery. And then robbing him.
O, moja głowa.
Alright. I can read his book stand too, if I haven't already. Volume 1, The Order of Things in the World. I think I've read that. Dark room. Catacombs are accessible? Interesting. I'll come back to that in a second. This was the thing. Bunch of booze. Well, not really booze. This is all non-alcoholic, but there's the fish fillet with King's Sorrel. Maximum hit point bonus. And no healing benefit. So how about if I just drink that now? Legends of the angelic taste of this dish are passed around by every cook on the islands. Maximum hit point bonus 15. Sure. While I'm at it, let me find those Nocturnal Zours. Nocturnal Zour, 2 health points. I'll keep 1, just so I have a unique one. 70 health and maximum hit points. I'd kind of prefer to remember to use that. Maximum mana plus 2. A lot of these are ones that I'd like to use when it would be some restorative benefit. There's Stefan. Hey, you.
Co słychać?
Zdaje się, że nie doceniłem tych gryzoni. Jednak będę musiał się nimi jakoś zająć.
In fact, I just remembered. I think I told the story earlier about my time playing Drakensong. I think it's just the original video game version of it, the Dark Eye Drakensong. I guess the Dark Eye is the RPG that Drakensong is based on. Maybe like a German equivalent of Dungeons and Dragons, but there's that opening quest fairly early in that game where you're sent to kill rats in the cellar, and you get to the end and there's a boss called Mother Ratzinski, who's this giant uber boss of death and doom, and it just absolutely destroyed me. I could not beat that boss. And I suspect that was supposed to be a joke, just like, aha, rats in the cellar, standard cliche and level 1 quest. Well, here's this uber level 15 boss that is just really impossible to fight or whatever. And I love just how stupidly hard that fight was for being, you know, just a stupid rats in the cellar quest that turns out to be just brutally hard. And then when I enlarged the rat over here in the kitchen, I forgot all about that quest, and it was kind of reminiscent of Mother Ratzinski to see the giant man-sized rat. But I am now in the catacombs, and there's no one guarding them. So Volume 2, Catalog of Errors of the Followers of Adanos, another one that I have read. Yada yada, someone was talking about, like, how the balance of good and evil can be exploited for people's personal gain or whatever. Arcanum Marum. Part of the old chronicle of the monastery tells about the arrival of Myrtanians. Well, that sounds new. Water Fist. I don't know that I have that spell, do I? Have I seen a Water Fist scroll yet? I got 2 of them. I think that's what I picked up. There's just 2. Arcanum Marum. Wind Fist, Storm, and Parchment. Volume 1, more of that. I've already read it. Can't interact with the book stand behind the lectern. Third circle, Testament of the Wolf. So I gotta read Testament of the Wolf. Mastery of the Vardal Armorers. That sounds interesting. And this one does not interact at all. Okay. So I desecrate the coffins. Am I allowed to desecrate them? I am not. Thank you for that, because I really would have been tempted to open every single one of these. And be like, hey, are there any good paladin swords in here? Can I have a paladin sword? Maybe you got buried with a cool amulet. But Arcanum Marum, that's the big one. One of these was... It looked like this one. But it had a different title. The Mastery of the Vardal Armors. So many pages are completely unreadable due to their age, but there are no armorers in the world as skilled as the Masters of Vardal. From the hands of these craftsmen come out armor so strong that even a rushing axe can stop it. What? Should that say can't stop it? From the hands of these craftsmen come out armor so strong that even a rushing axe can be stopped. Can stop it. The idea is supposed to be that a rushing axe will be blocked by the armor, I think. Anyway. There are 2 secrets to this art. The first is the experience that has been passed down through the ages so that each blow of a hammer only strengthens the steel, not weakens it. The second, but no less important, is the highest quality materials. In order to turn iron into a truly durable material, a nugget of silver and magic ore each will be required. The interior must be made of leather that is comfortable to the touch, yet durable. One of them you will find on a beast as massive as a tower, the other on a black monster that likes honey. Black monster that likes honey? Is that a black bear? Is the one that's massive as a tower a troll? Tie the armor with the tongue, which the heat of the forge does not frighten. Fire lizard tongue. And strengthen all immovable joints with the horn of the Night Hunter, aka Shadow Beast. In the end, everything should be polished with the only stone hard enough, alive and dead at the same time, gray like the rocks of the wolf's den. Golem heart. So that's interesting that they're explaining that in literal terms. Don't seem to have gained any specific experience or skill bonus from that. But here's Testament of the Wolf, an unbound book, must be really many years old. 50 XP. Volpzak divided the land between his 3 sons before his death. Korvan, the eldest of the 3 sons, received the town. Yarend was given the strongholds to the east and west. Farkand took care of the Silver River Basin. The three brothers sealed their father's will with these words of oath. What once stood united on three was divided. The darkest hour we shall dispel the shadow. Brother stands by brother, and enemies falls time another. And enemies fall time again, I guess? I don't know. But the drums of war once more sounded in fields and forests, and the promise of eternal order was just an illusion. Brother stood against brother, freshly harvested crops were turned to ashes, and sons and daughters were torn from their mothers' cradles. And so Adanos wept mournfully, bringing rain into the land, yet the people continued to wound each other. Then the gracious one awoke the hearts from stone and angered the sea, which separated the grain from the chaff, surrounding the faithful with a soothing sheet of infinite blue. Huh. Interesting. Alright, now here comes the long one. This is like an 8-volume series or something about, many words of this chronicle are illegible. But starting in volume 4, we get part of the chronicle of the monastery, which tells the story of Wolfstock's last years. And the War of Two Brothers, arrival of the Myrtanians, conflict of faith, and present time? This is interesting. So here we go. Let me get a swig of my, what is this? Coke and Jim Beam Red Stag. So on the 5th day of our journey, together with brother Alatar, I reached the shores of Archolos. Brother Modares and Teneris welcomed us. Master Periandes with brother Korax went to talk with somebody, the lord who bears the name of Wolfzak, which is the local tongue. In the local tongue means son of a wolf. People showed us great hospitality, each of us a bowl full of fish. The meal was reinforcing. In return, we blessed the generous people and the problem of the prowling beast. Brother Modaris decided to stay for a couple more days, make sure that the villagers are safe. The village of Archolos reminds me of a small town. The inhabitants, with a skill equal to the best carpenters of Myrtana. Wolfstock invited us to his hall. On hanged ornate tapestries, under the roof we saw, and weapons forged from a black. Our feet trotted on the hides of trolls, and even larger, terrible. Master Periandes, as a token of reconciliation, gave Wolfstock a. The chieftain hanged it proudly above, and promised to never part with it. In return, he allowed us on a rocky cape on the northwest part of the island. There we shall erect a chapel to the Lord. Rocky cape on the northwest part of the island is, I guess, like is where the chapel to Innos is, the big cathedral. Oh, they tried to be nice and polite at first. Volume 2. Although wind-torn, ragged rocks on the remote cape do not, hospitality is people from the island. Thanks to our deep faith and determination, we built a chapel in honor of Adanos. Most of his time, Master Periandes, on prayer and meditations, that the true purpose of our arrival remains hidden from servants of the older brothers. Brother Korax believes that Wolfstock grew humble since our last visit in his hall. He believes, which he was given with, but Master Periandes constantly repeats that we all should give thanks to Adanos. Yesterday we were visited by Wolfstock and his oldest son, Korvan. Now wait a minute. I'm reading these things in the monastery of Adanos. And this thing was talking about rocky cliffs on the northwest. I assume that meant in the Shrine of Innos, but maybe it's referring to like Vardal or something. Who is this perspective from? Because it's someday, somebody on the 5th day of our journey, they arrived at the shores of Archolos. Brothers Modaris and Tenaris welcomed us. So Brother Modaris and Tenaris are mages of Adanos. Because that would be the established religion here on the island. Brother wants to talk with Korax, somebody who bears the name of Wolfzak, which is the son of Wolf. He will show us great hospitality. In return, we bless the generous people and the problem of the prowling beast. Brother Madar decided to stay for a couple more days. Make sure that the villagers are safe. And the village of Archolos this would be like the very early days of the city, I'm guessing. The inhabitants with the skills of the best carpenters of Myrtana. Volstagg invited us to one of his hall. Yada yada glamour. Master Periandes, as a token of reconciliation, gave Wolfzak something. The chieftain hanged it proudly above something and promised to never part with it. In return, he allowed us on a rocky cape on the northwest part of the island. There we shall erect a chapel to the Lord. Although wind-torn, ragged rocks of the remote cape do not hospitality as people from the island, thanks to our deep faith and determination, we built a chapel in honor of Adanos. But now this is like in the harbor. You're not talking about like a small one here that turned into the monastery. That would be the north. That would be like more like the east of the island. Most of his time, Master Periandes on prayer and meditations, that the true purpose of our arrival remains hidden from servants of the older brothers. Brother Korax believes that Wolfzak grew humble since our last visit in his hall. He believes, which he was given with, but Master Periandes constantly repeats that we all should give thanks to Adanos. Yesterday, we were visited by Wolfzak and his oldest son, Korvan. Stripped of their garments in which they had once greeted us, our guests were clothed now only in simple mantles. They wanted to learn the way of our Lord, and we, doing his bidding, filled their hearts. Two of his older sons, the court and greatest warriors. It was a great day indeed, at the end of which our Lord himself wept tears of joy. Our master, and in truth, the prior Periandes, in his wisdom, decided that my task and the task of Brother Alatar on this island are complete, and so we prepared our boats for a further journey east. We bid farewell to our brothers, and I left this chronicle for my brother Demas. Years passed, and Adanos found its place in the hearts of people of this island for good. Many of them abandoned their earthly life and followed the path of righteousness and order. Thanks to the generosity of Wolfzak and his sons, the monastery, with quarters for mages and novices. I think this is saying that that's when the monastery here was built. Illness has struck Prior Periandes and squeezes the life out of him like a skilled farmer squeezes juice off a bunch of grapes. We prayed for his recovery and sent for Brother Tenaris, an unrivaled medic. Last night, Prior Periandes passed away. Our Lord and his mercy spared him pain. Sad days have come to the water circle. Brothers Korax, Tenaris, and Modaris had the of guiding the High Council until a new shepherd of our stock is chosen. I shall write no more, for sorrow took away my ability to think clearly. Brother Modaris, like he always does, departed on a pilgrimage across the island, searching for traces of the Lord in shrines, stone circles, and places of power. Master Tenaris, however, is searching for him amongst the ancient ruins on the bogs. As they say, all the wisdom tends to come after the injury, yet nobody is surprised by their decisions. The Lord puts our faith to a test indeed. And this is when I start getting more definite descriptions. So part of the old chronicle of the monastery, which tells the story of Wolfzak's last years. Master Korax was proclaimed a new prior of the monastery. His promotion coincided with the Days of Mercy, during which Adanos forgives sins of sheep that went astray. We still heard no word from brothers Tenaris and Modaris. Everyone hopes that with the Lord's will their journey shall end happily and they return stronger in faith. In his generosity, Brother Korax donated a great deal of the monastery fortune to erect shrines of Adanos on the island. To our joy, people eagerly helped us build them. Indeed, the faith in the Lord is strong with them. Words of the endeavor also reached the ears of Brother Tenaris. A great sorrow fell upon us, however, when we heard he abandoned our brotherhood. Brother Modaris also returned this month from his own venture, but decided to take roots in the village at the basin of the Silver River, aka Zilbach. Nothing in this world lasts forever, and Adanos constantly reminds us of it. We heard the sad news about the passing of Wolfzak, the ruler of Archolos. We conducted the last rites for his soul and put his body to eternal rest in the tomb on the western end of the island. By Wolfzak's last will, his 3 sons, Korvan, Yarnd, and Farkand, shall now rule Archolos. May merciful Adanos guide them through the path of righteousness and order. So Wolfzak is entombed in Vardal, is my guess. And steadily I'm beginning to think that these I can't. I'm having a hard time finding the perspective on some of these things, because Brother Altair and I reached the shores of Archolos, but then brothers Modaris and Tenaris welcomed us. Master Periandus with Brother Korax went to talk, so like our Master Periandus and Korax established water mages on the island already? And who are you two who started this journey and arrived here? You know, I'm not totally sure what's going on with that. Because then the rest of it is all like talking about as if they're members of the monastery or the circle of water or whatever. There's a talk about building the chapel on the northwest. In return, he allowed us on a rocky cape on the northwest part of the island. He allowed us something on a rocky cape on the northwest part of the island. There we shall erect a chapel to the Lord. Is that the crypt with the teleport by Vardal? Like, I don't know. Anyway, what is this description? Part of the old Chronicle of Monastery tells about the War of the Two Brothers. So I've read about this elsewhere, but before the body of Wolfzak was cold, his 2 sons, Yarnd and Farkand, were at each other's throats, tearing apart their father's legacy. The war they waged shook the foundations of Archolos and poisoned the hearts of its people. The age of pain and horror has begun. The age when brothers and sisters would betray each other and all teachings of Adanos would be forgotten. Seeing the futility of our attempts of negotiating with the battling brothers, the prior has called for a council to look for a solution to the worsening situation on the island. The vast majority of our brothers spoke up for restraint. We did not leave, however, the victims of the war to their fate. With the permission of the High Council, Master Ladris shall build a sanitarium. Brother Ezrin, who was sent to the town for necessary materials, brought us sad news. The Lord took Brother Modaris. People say he perished in flames after saving several families from a burning house. Last night, the storm washed the cape, flooding the only path joining the mainland with the monastery. We understand this symbol in the only possible way. Beliar took hold of Archolos, and we must let him fulfill his destruction so the process of renewal can begin. That's another book referred to that happening in more metaphysical terms, more metaphorical terms. Okay. So this tells about the arrival of the Myrtanians. When Beliar feasted, plunging the land in chaos and destruction, Maximus, the king of Myrtana and the servant of Innos, arrived. Like a glowing blade in the sky, he pierced through the forces of the 2 brothers, gaining advantage in the conflict, which in fact is a battle of the war of the gods waged since the dawn of time. Farkand asked us for help, but we must not ignore the evident signs of the Lord. Adanos, in his vast wisdom, foresaw that in the hour of trial, envoys of his brothers shall visit us, and they must be shunned. We have to wait when the time is right to bring balance and complete the cycle that was started. One day, black clouds gathered over the west, and from the bowels of the sky came ribbons of living fire, which brought death upon Myrtanians and wolf sons alike. Again, the story of Virgilio, I think it was the fire mage who did the rain of fire for 3 days over Vardal. For many days, the inferno consumed everything it found on its way, but our prayers begged Adanos to bring rain on his suffering children. Although Yaren still took hold of the eastern citadel, the forces of Maximus were too thinned to bleed again, and so the king of Myrtana signed a treaty allowing the wolf sons to keep their dignity and the scraps of freedom. Many people sought refuge at our gates, and we, according to the Lord's teachings, took them under our roof. Volume 7 tells about the conflict of faith. With Maximus's victory, the faith of Enos began to expand rapidly across Archolos, but people did not follow their dogmas willingly. It was instilled in them with force and fear by the king's envoys. Following the prior's advice, brothers Ladris, Arian, Gordian, and Ordius set off to the four corners of the island to protect, with a word and, if need be, with a deed, our stock from the wrath of the believers of Enos. When the new Myrtanian rule began to settle in Archolos, Brother Ezran decided to erect a temple of Adanos in the town harbor. Despite many protests of dignitaries, after long negotiations, Governor Godfrey consented to build it. He did not expect, however, that the faith of our Lord's stock would be so strong. Day after day, more and more believers would come at its door. But Maximus's heart burnt with jealousy, and so the war over the faith on Archolos was far from over. Shortly after, armed men stepped into the temple, depraved our sacred place, and seized many of the faithful. Enos himself must have seen this evil as he brought fire upon the town hall, whose flames could be quenched only by soothing drops of the spring rain. Finally, Volume 8 tells about the present time. Mana +5. Many years after the death of Maximus, despite the hatred which still burned bright in people's hearts, followers of Adanos and Enos learned how to live together in peace. When the servants of the God of Light took hold over the town, believers of the Lord of Order would crowd in villages, forests, and on the shore of the sea. With that, the process of restoration was fulfilled and the balance on Archolos was preserved. As a sign of conciliation, we decided to lay foundations for the bridge meant to rejoin the monastery with the mainland. Brothers of the High Council unanimously voted for appointing Water Ring, the armed unit of the monastery. Ring of Water is the way I'm used to reading that. From the selected people, a group of warriors has been chosen. These stalwart men showed extraordinary strength of spirit and skill. From this day forward, they shall maintain balance on Archolos. Rejoice, for Adanos blessed us with a new shepherd of our stock. Brother Regan, who had been studying for many years under the late Master Mizan, became the leader of the monastery at the age of 33. May the Lord watch over him and guide through the meanders of balance and protect him from lies and wickedness of this world. So coming back here, we still have the chapel on a rocky cape on the northwest part of the island. That's got to be referring to a chapel of Adanos. But the only chapels I know of are anywhere like near the northwest of the island are paladin stuff. There's the one in the forest behind Bearmare's farm, which had notes from paladins, I think. And then there's the one in the built into the mountain up by Sailor's Retreat that also had like dead archons in it. The only one that makes sense to me is the crypt near Vardhall, if that's supposed to somehow be related to the water mages and Adanos, but it sure didn't look like it. I'm looking around on the map and I'm just going like, I don't know where else it would be referring to, so I'm a little confused by some of that. Oh goodness, it's gotten real late. Looks like the prior His name might be Regan. He's gonna have to wait another day. I mean, I'll sleep in a bed over here if there is one. At what point is this guy gonna give up? Or when will he have officially learned his lesson?
Chwila.
Alright, let's go
Jestem
do
gotów.
the thing.
Dobrze, biegnij za mną.
Run after me. Oh, the gate just suddenly opened. I would have thought there would have been at least... It didn't even open. It just disappeared. Like, I thought there would have been a mechanism for raising or lowering a gate somehow, or opening and closing it. It just literally disappeared. That's the same with some of those doors in the monastery proper area. Oh my god. Oh, some of that's just really hard to stomach, like things being designed that way in such a artificial way, or I'm just like, nah, can't you find a better way to do that? Nah. These are backwards somehow. I'll just save in slot 3. But I think I see loot over here, so I'm gonna try to get it. Healing root. Fire root and a rat. Look at that. Ooh. What is this? Fred, are you a skeleton?
Adanusie! W końcu mnie ktoś znalazł!
What are you doing here?
Co ty tu robisz?
Nazywam się Fred i zbierałem tutaj zioła. Wiesz, najlepsze zioła można znaleźć właśnie w takich niedostępnych miejscach.
Yeah,
Myślałem,
naturally.
że dam radę pokonać mój lęk przed wysokością, ale chyba się przeliczyłem.
Can I give him a potion of flight or a teleport rune? Oh, he can't teleport with unless he's in a circle.
Wyprowadzę cię stąd.
Co? Nie, chyba oszalałeś! Nie ruszam się stąd na krok! Chwila nieuwagi i będę leciał wprost w objęcia śmierci!
To jak mam ci pomóc?
Wezwij mistrza Kusto! On będzie wiedział, co robić.
Okay.
Proszę!
Wonder if Master Custo is already wondering where he went. That was the least expected thing. I was like, okay, there's just gonna be some basic plants.
Nic tu nie ma.
And it was a dude. That was totally worth it to come over here. I was thinking this was just gonna be like a slight waste of time, just grabbing somewhat useless items. Like, you know, healing root's good, but everything else is kind of like, eh, can live without. Then there was a dude over there. That was amazing. This one's a little tricky. maybe it'll have similar types of loot. Doubt they'd have another dude over here.
Z tego będzie jeszcze więcej kłopotów.
Oh, I can't really move this way. I don't know. I can try to jump across it.
Żal mi
Oh, there we go.
taka.
This one's looking less and less promising. There's kind of a ledge below, though. Can't tell if it leads anywhere of importance. But it almost looks like those ledges could be safely dropped down to reach a lower level. Although from here, I don't really see anything unless it's buried sort of under the tree canopy. Alright, now here is where there would be some loot if there were to be. Let's see if I get any reward for this side. Get nothing. I think I'm overlooking Fred now. Yeah, there he is. So, a whole lot of nothing around the right side, unfortunately. Whoa, goodness, it's a ledge.
Naprawdę sądzisz? Doszło do mnie to i... Działam
Get unstuck, please. Yeah. There we go. Alright, now to go inside properly while this novice waits patiently.
Dalej pójdziesz już z Keselem.
Oh, there he is.
Marvin, jak dobrze cię widzieć. Zdążyłem już usłyszeć, że to tobie zawdzięczam mój powrót do zdrowia. Nawet nie wiedziałem, że tyle wiesz o alchemii.
Well, it was Riordan's idea.
Właściwie to był pomysł Riordiana.
To także obiło mi się o uszy. Riordan już którąś godzinę wysłuchuje kazania na ten temat od przeora oraz wszystkich arcymagów.
Jak się czujesz? Mnie ten eliksir zwalił z nóg.
Dobrze, powiedziałbym nawet, że czuję się lepiej niż przed całym tym zajściem. Oczywiście mam na myśli moje ciało. Wciąż nie mogę pozbyć się obrazu moich braci, wymordowanych przez tego drania. Magowie muszą w końcu zareagować i zrobić coś z tym przeklętym Volkerem.
So are we going or what? Oh, Riordan just appeared. So Riordan, there he goes.
Jak? Przeor był wściekły?
Wściekły? Czasami mam wrażenie, że ten staruszek ma więcej cierpliwości niż sam Adanos względem swoich braci. Niestety, nasłuchałem się sporo uwag od pozostałych arcymagów. Teraz koniecznie chcą z wami porozmawiać. Lepiej nie każcie im czekać.
I've already kept them waiting 2 days.
Chwila.
What's the rush? Alright, I'll play along for this. Or will I? No, I won't. Don't care. Several chests that I can loot. Bunch of novices hanging around. Who are these guys? More generic novices.
Widzisz? To nie było takie trudne.
Stairs. Novice with the sheep. And a king's sorrel. Yes, please. You don't mind if I take that, do you? Thank you. You probably didn't even know it was there. Okay, so I guess I will steal this stuff. Steal from all the water mages.
Nie masz tu czego szukać.
Okay.
Widzisz? To nie było takie trudne.
What if I came back at night? Let's see, that's got another path over to another thing, and nice silver chest over there. These must be like Archmage or some high-ranking quarters. Is this novice gonna somehow realize that I'm looting this chest? $75 gold, okay. I'll come back
Nie masz tu czego szukać.
later. When it's dark and you're possibly asleep.
Nie jesteś wcale taki głupi, na jakiego wyglądasz.
There it is. Yeah, alright, I'll pick up the weeds. Pick everything up. My compulsive desire. Okay, well, let's go talk to the folks, finally. Excuse me. Alright, so now we go in.
A teraz posłuchaj. To potężni magowie i mędrcy. Większość z nich studiowała starożytne księgi jeszcze zanim twoi rodzice się poznali. Odzywaj się jedynie zapytane i okazuj magom należyty szacunek. Dobrze, szybko się uczysz. Jeszcze jedno. Magowie wody czasami mogą wydawać się odrobinę nieczuli. Żyją w nieustannym poszukiwaniu równowagi i sprawiedliwości, a to sprawia, że czasami nie postrzegają świata tak jak reszta z nas. Nie zraź się, gdyby nie zareagowali na twoje słowa zgodnie z oczekiwaniami.
Wreszcie przybyłeś, Kesselu. Czym zakończyły się twoje poszukiwania? Czy jakikolwiek członek wodnego kręgu uszedł z życiem?
Niestety nie, arcymistrzu Regenie. Zostałem jedynie ja.
Kimże jest twój towarzysz? Nie przypominam sobie, by był członkiem kręgu.
Well, he told me not to speak unless spoken to, and he didn't address me specifically, right? He said, "Who is your companion?" So I'll let Kessel introduce myself.
Nazywa się Marvin. Jakiś czas temu przybył na Archolos ze swoim bratem, niestety. Ten został porwany, torturowany i ostatecznie zabity przez lichwiarza. Sam Adanos musiał sprawić, że nasze drogi się połączyły. Obaj mamy z lichwiarzem pewien dług do wyrównania.
Mówisz o tym tak, jakby to sam Volker był odpowiedzialny za całe zło na tej wyspie. Zapytam cię o to samo, o co pytałem ostatnio, gdy prowadziliśmy taką rozmowę. Czy mamy jakieś niepodważalne dowody na to, iż to właśnie Volker za tym stoi? Ostatnimi czasy przez wyspę przetaczają się ogromne ilości zagubionych ludzi, których głód i nędza doprowadzają do najgorszych czynów. Volker wielokrotnie dowiódł swojej troski o Archolos. Mam ci przypomnieć, że jest jednym z niewielu, którzy wspierają finansowo zarówno przytułek dla chorych, jak i biednych? Czy może dodać to, że pożycza bez procentu ludziom w trudnej sytuacji? O tym już nie pamiętają ci wszyscy, którzy narzekają na jego majątek. Rozumiem, że te podejrzenia ciągną się już latami, ale powoli zaczyna to wyglądać jak obsesja. Prędzej byłbym skłonny stwierdzić, że to gildia kupiecka może mieć jakieś zapędy do władzy. W końcu tyle się słyszy o ich reakcji na kolejne podatki i konfiskaty.
Nie żyją wszyscy członkowie wodnego kręgu. Na miejscu spotkaliśmy ludzi w pancerzach najemników lichwiarza, którzy próbowali nas zabić. Ledwo udało nam się ujść z życiem. Czy abyś mi uwierzył, sam lichwiarz musiałby przyjść tutaj i przyznać się do tych wszystkich morderstw?
Kesselu, nie tym tonem! Nie zapominaj, do kogo się zwracasz. Rozmawiasz z najwyższym rangą, magiem wody. Damy ci chwilę, żebyś ochłonął. Tymczasem może twój towarzysz nam coś opowie. Marwinie, czy potwierdzasz tę wersję wydarzeń? Czy możesz przedstawić jakieś dowody na to, że Volker jest odpowiedzialny za te wszystkie morderstwa?
I did work with the usurer.
Przez jakiś czas współpracowałem z lichwiarzem. Początkowo rzeczywiście wydawał się takim człowiekiem, na jakiego próbuje się kreować. Jednak wiele rzeczy nie dawało mi spokoju. Od samego początku próbował nakierować mnie na trop wodnego kręgu, nazywając ich wywrotowcami. Tak jakby chciał, żeby to ktoś z zewnątrz pomógł mu usunąć przeciwników z drogi. Pomimo iż wiedział, że to nie Osip jest odpowiedzialny za próbę zamachu, nie miał zamiaru uczynić niczego, by ten opuścił więzienie. Nie pofatygował się nawet na pogrzeb swojego własnego człowieka, który przyjął za niego strzał z kuszy, ratując mu tym samym życie.
W zupełności mu się nie dziwię. Gdyby to mnie ktoś próbował zabić w tak tchórzliwy sposób, zrobiłbym wszystko, żeby nie dać mu drugiej szansy.
Also, they said earlier about he loans money with no interest. Is that true? I thought the whole thing, if you're loaning money, like, you have to get interest out of it to make it worth your while. But, like, weren't there stories of people being ruined by Wolfsock because he loaned money and then, like, wanted the money back and they couldn't pay it, and, like, I would have assumed there would be interest in there. Otherwise, you know, like, how hard is it to repay a loan if it's not accumulating increasing amounts of interest over time? You know, that's the whole trap. Anyway, I did find Volker's hideout, which at least one man confessed to being their hideout. But there was some curiosity as to Kessel having colluded in some manner for some reason that I didn't really pick up on. There was one or two moments where it was like, wait, what? Did you have some involvement with kidnapping Yorn or something, and I wasn't totally sure. So we'll see where this goes.
Idąc po tropie, który znalazłem przy Jonie, dotarłem do jednej z kryjówek lichwiarza. Cały budynek był wypełniony jego najemnikami. Zanim stwierdzicie, że mogli być pod rozkazami kogoś innego, dodam, że właśnie tam próbował mnie zabić jeden z osobistych pomagierów lichwiarza, Zachs. W podziemiach odnalazłem specjalną salę tortur. To właśnie tam został zaprowadzony mój brat. Niestety właśnie w tym miejscu go odnalazłem. Prawdopodobnie nie żył już od wielu dni. Miejsce było wypełnione tajnymi dokumentami, skrzyniami pełnymi towarów, ale przede wszystkim bronią. Do czego mógłby jej tyle potrzebować?
Jest mi niezwykle przykro z powodu twojego brata, ale sądzę, że wyciągasz zbyt pochopne wnioski. Być może to właśnie wspomniany przez ciebie Zachs stał za tym wszystkim? Tak czy inaczej, trop ten warto dodatkowo zbadać. Wyślemy wiadomość do Rodericha, by jego ludzie dokładnie sprawdzili to miejsce.
Byłem z Kesselem, gdy zostaliśmy zaatakowani. To byli ponownie ci sami ludzie, z którymi walczyliśmy w kryjówce. Czekali tam na nas i za wszelką cenę chcieli nas zabić. Nikt inny nie mógł być odpowiedzialny za wymordowanie pozostałych członków kręgu.
Nie było ich jednak na miejscu, gdy znaleźliście ciała. I jak podejrzewam, nie widzieliście, żeby to oni dokonali tego haniebnego czynu.
Nie.
Myślę, że
They
tyle
tried to
informacji
kill us.
wystarczy na ten moment.
Badulfie, czy może chciałbyś coś dodać?
Regenie. Jest to chłopak inteligentny i szukający sprawiedliwości. Jego osąd może być jednak zaburzony przez utratę bliskiej osoby. Myślę, że przy rozstrzyganiu kwestii tak delikatnej, a zarazem istotnej, najlepiej będzie zarządzić głosowanie. Nie tylko nasze, jako rady, ale także pozostałych magów. Całość powinna być poprzedzona wspólną modlitwą o łaskę mądrości Adanosa. Wyłącznie wtedy będziemy godni i gotowi.
Mądre słowa, przyjacielu. Zgadzam się, jeden człowiek nie powinien dźwigać na barkach odpowiedzialności za taką decyzję. W szczególności, że jakiekolwiek działania podejmiemy, mogą one mieć ogromne konsekwencje. Gdybyśmy zdecydowali się wystąpić przeciwko Volkerowi bez niezbitych dowodów, lub co gorsza, gdyby okazało się, że nie mamy racji, nasza reputacja ległaby w gruzach.
Owszem, takie rozwiązanie będzie w zaistniałej sytuacji najbardziej odpowiednie. Kesselu, czy chciałbyś coś dodać?
Mistrzu Regenie, wybacz mi mój wcześniejszy wybuch. Ostatnie tygodnie nie były dla mnie łaskawe. Straciłem wielu wyśmienitych ludzi, których miałem bronić. Chcę zrobić wszystko, by na Archolos ludzie mogli żyć godnie i w pokoju. Jeśli potrzebujecie modlitwy i łaski Adanosa do podjęcia decyzji, to muszę to uszanować. Razem z Marvinem będziemy oczekiwać wiadomości na zewnątrz kaplicy.
Udzielam ci przebaczenia, Kesselu, ale niech taka sytuacja nigdy więcej już się nie powtórzy. Jesteś członkiem wodnego kręgu. Zachowuj się godnie. Pamiętaj, że my również chcemy dbać o dobro wyspy.
Nie zamieniliśmy jeszcze ani słowa, a ty już obarczyłeś się ciężarem winy. Kradzież to pogwałcenie zasad klasztoru. Te przestępstwa muszą zostać zadośćuczynione. Taka jest wola Adanosa. Przekażesz klasztorowi stosowny datek.
Ile?
50 sztuk złota.
Okay. This is from when I stole a plant earlier. They just kind of stuck this in awkwardly.
Chcę zapłacić karę.
Przyjmuję datek. Twoje wykroczenie zostaje ci wybaczone. Niech Adanos obdarzy cię mądrością, byś więcej nie grzeszył.
Kesselu, Marvinie, razem z pozostałymi magami wody, prawie jednogłośnie, po wielu godzinach modlitwy podjęliśmy decyzję. Magowie wody nie będą interweniować w sprawy wyspy. Volker jest obywatelem miasta Archolos. Jeśli winny jest wymienionych przez was czynów, powinien zostać postawiony przed sąd. Jako że na wyspie przebywa aktualnie sam wysłannik królewski, to właśnie jemu, z wyrazami troski o los naszej wyspy, przekażemy wszystkie wasze podejrzenia.
Wy wszyscy chyba postradaliście rozumy. Ten człowiek odpowiada za śmierć dziesiątek osób. W tym za ludzi, którzy składali przysięgi, by bronić nie tylko równowagi, ale i was!
Ponownie się zapominasz, Kesselu. To nie jest port, żebyś przemawiał takim tonem.
Co jeszcze musi się stać, żebyście w końcu podjęli jakikolwiek krok? Od lat siedzicie tutaj, zamknięci i nawet nie kiwniecie palcem, gdy przez wyspę przetaczają się kolejne klęski. Wojna z orkami, głód, choroby, niesprawiedliwości społeczne, a do tego jeszcze żyjący w luksusach wariat z armią na własne rozkazy.
Dlatego właśnie klasztor musi pozostać neutralny. To miejsce, w którym każdy może szukać schronienia. Jeśli zaczniemy wybierać strony i rzucać oskarżeniami, to zostaniemy wciągnięci w wir politycznych potyczek.
Cisza! Taka jest wola Adanosa. Nie bez przyczyny zesłał na nasz klasztor ten straszliwy sztorm. Pokazał nam nasze miejsce. Ten zniszczony most to symbol. Symbol tego, że nie naszą rolą jest ingerowanie w to, co po tamtej stronie. Mamy pozostać na tej wyspie i dać schronienie każdemu, kto będzie go tu szukać.
I'd kind of like to ask the bridge. I mean, I kind of understand the metaphorical interpretation from the books, but I would like to ask what their interpretation is. This goes against Kessel's prior advice, but he's been acting pretty indignant, insolent with them, so let me just ask.
Most? Co ma do tego wszystkiego most?
Nie teraz, Marvin.
Oh, come on.
A więc to o to chodzi? O sztorm i zniszczony most? Sterta kamieni będzie decydować o losie mieszkańców wyspy?
Nie muszę ci chyba przypominać, że dzięki stercie kamieni Robar może w ogóle jeszcze prowadzić wojnę z orkami.
W takim razie ja również muszę przekopać się przez gruzowisko i zdobyć dla was inny znak. Może wtedy wyjdziecie z tej stagnacji.
O czym ty znowu bredzisz, Kesselu?
Udam się do ruin Wardali i zdobędę rozjemcę. To będzie prawdziwy znak. Od samego Adanosa. Iż nadszedł czas na interwencję.
Dość. Nie chcę więcej słyszeć o tym ani słowa. Muszę się pomodlić i uspokoić.
He got upset that I asked about the bridge. And then immediately got upset about the bridge. Seemed a little hypocritical. But a novice led me to the tower, yada yada. The conversation with the archmages did not go Kessel's way. The mages have no intention of intervening in the matter of the usurer, to which Kessel reacted with fury. He said something about some sort of sign, a peacemaker, in the ruins of Vardal. I must catch up with him and find out what this is all about. Okay, so they're just gonna chill. Now that it's nighttime, it's 8 o'clock. Might be able to sneak into those other quarters and steal stuff. Here's the guy, Custo, that I was looking for. Try to find Fred. Where'd he go? Hey, Custo. Hey, I found Fred. He's, oh, hello.
Witaj.
Tak, witaj. Nazywam się Kusto i mam nadzieję, że nie przyszedłeś mi przeszkadzać.
Nowicjusz Fred wpadł w tarapaty. Utknął za budynkiem klasztoru tuż nad przepaścią i oczekuje twojej pomocy.
Znowu?
Jak to znowu?
Słowo daję, ten chłopak został zesłany przez Adanosa, by wystawić mnie na najcięższe próby. Prawie spalił stół alchemiczny. Pogubił zwoje. I drugi raz wlazł na tę skarpę. I mówię tylko o tym tygodniu. Dałem mu nawet specjalny amulet ochronny. Ale to nic nie pomogło, bo magia niestety nie chroni przed własną głupotą.
To pomożesz mu?
Cicho, muszę się skupić. Spróbuję go tu przeteleportować.
You can do that?
Tak, udało się. Zapytaj go, jak się czuje, bo ja już nie mam do niego sił.
That's pretty amazing. Where did you teleport him to, though? Oh, is this him? Okay.
Chwila.
How's life?
Jak życie?
Odkąd pod moje skrzydła trafił Fred, jest pełne pokory. Oj, tak. Bardzo dużo jej potrzebuję, by wytrzymać z tym chłopakiem.
And what can you tell me about the
Co
monastery?
możesz mi powiedzieć o klasztorze?
Zapewne niewiele więcej ponad to, czego możesz się dowiedzieć od innych magów. Jeśli bardzo interesuje cię historia tego miejsca, powinieneś poczytać odpowiednie książki. Na pewno jakiś znajdziesz w naszej bibliotece.
Jak się czujesz?
Dobrze, nawet nie wiesz, jaką ulgę teraz czuję. Chyba powinienem jakoś cię wynagrodzić.
Oh dear. What are the odds that the herbs would be anything special? What is the amulet? I'll take the herbs.
Daj mi zioła, które zebrałeś.
Ale bardzo długo je zbierałem.
A jeszcze dłużej byś siedział nad przepaścią, gdybym się nie pojawił.
No to dobrze. Zrób z nich dobry użytek.
King Sorrel. Hey! I got 2 King Sorrels. That's pretty good. Who knows what the amulet would have been? No dialogue with Notger. Prior Reagan, no dialogue. Ingolf?
Hej,
Show me your goods?
czy mógłbyś sprzedać mi jakieś magiczne przedmioty?
Skoro współpracujesz z Rjordianem i Kesselem, to myślę, że mogę ci zaufać i przyznać dostęp do części z moich zasobów. Tylko pamiętaj, magia to nie zabawa. Wszystkie z moich towarów należy wykorzystywać z rozwagą.
Show me your goods.
Pohandlujmy.
No sorrels of the kings, however. But that's fine. I just got 2, and I found 2 more. I guess I could buy this goblin berry, but I don't really want it right now. What does he teach me?
Mógłbyś nauczyć mnie czegoś o magii?
Przykro mi, nauczam jedynie nowicjuszy oraz członków wodnego kręgu.
How you doing?
Co słychać?
U mnie dobrze, młodzieńcze. Mam nadzieję, że łaska Adanosa się ciebie trzyma.
Okay, now he's gonna run off.
Co jest w tych...
This is
Za
the
moimi-
catacombs. Yeah, we don't care about that. That's... So now I should have gone before talking to them, apparently, because now they're probably running to their quarters. Now there will be people up here. Maybe this one novice is going to be perpetually staring at me. Yeah, look at him right there, just chilling. Well, I want to know what's through here.
Nie masz tu czego szukać.
Nie jesteś wcale
Hej,
taki głupi.
czego tam
na
szukałeś? Czego tu szukasz?
Look at that.
Odejdź.
Gold chest. A book stand.
Widzisz? To nie było takie trudne.
It'd be really hard to steal from here if there's novices just watching the whole time.
No, a!
No crime. Throw Spirit, Storm, or Magic Knowledge for Circle 2. Oops.
O, moja głowa. Czego tu szukasz?
I want to read that. I can't do it with him. He's gonna get mad at me. Now I can read it. So, entry 77. I spoke with Kessel about Yo, and he believes his heart is passionate but also righteous. I told Kessel to take care of him, for doubt leads straight to anger and thus to evil. Entry 82. I heard rumors about someone breaking into our archives last night, but nothing seems to be missing. Perhaps some novice could not sleep again. I will have to speak with Brother Ingolf about it. Entry 90. Yon disappeared, and Kessel is afraid that the attack in the harbor could be aimed at the water ring and that Volker gave the orders. I advised him to restrain his emotions. I am sure that I saw no Beliar's poison in our former brother's heart. Did the Merciful One not give us all an evident sign by crumbling the bridge? We must remain strong in our faith, for he is the only shield protecting us from the evil of this world. Go away. Entry 92. My worst fears have come true. There was an attempt to take Volker's life, and Yon was the one who stands behind it. Adanos puts our hearts to a test. I am left with no choice. I must speak with my brothers about the dissolution of the Water Ring. I feel that my strengths are withering day after day. Lord, fill my heart with faith, for the hour of trial is coming. Go back down. Didn't he drop a staff? It's gone. Alright. So now, can I do the same with this fine gentleman? He's got an apple, that's kind of nice. There's the fighting pike. Read to the chest. Ring of water. I got a ring of water ring. That's kind of cool. This book stand is... Entry 1, Brother Patrician keeps me informed about the Southerners' Rebellion. I sorrow all those poor people doomed... Yeah, leave me alone. I sorrow all those people doomed to perish in flames. We shall pray 3 times a day, and once every evening burn bundles of seraphis and myrtle for the souls. Entry 10. Today we discuss possible solutions on how to help victims of this tragedy. I decided to reopen the sanitarium in the monastery. I also requested Brother Rierl to bring every known healing herb. Entry 22. At the next gathering of the High Council, we discussed providing further help to people of town, but the votes appear to be equal. I decided to abstain and put trust in the wisdom of our Lord. Entry 30. Last night my heart rejoiced greatly when Adanos bestowed us with another sign. He crumbled the bridge leading to the island as if to oppose our intervention in the town. We live in uneasy times indeed, full of omens which we must look for. Entry 53. Kessel asked for an audience with me yesterday. He said that Volker, a nobleman from the town, is a threat to the balance of the island, but he's still searching for strong proof. Alright. Is there anything else to steal? Oh, book stand. Yoink. Alright, so now that I have committed the ultimate act of blasphemy by assaulting members of the church and robbing them,
Nie jesteś wcale taki głupi, na jakiego wyglądasz.
talk to these dudes over here.
Chyba pozostała nam już tylko jedna możliwość.
O czym ty mówisz?
Na wyspie znajduje się pewna stara twierdza nazywana Wardal. Należała ona do przodków Ulryka za czasów, gdy jeszcze cała wyspa była pod ich panowaniem. Podczas jednej z bitew została prawie całkowicie zalana ogniem przez magów. Mówi się, że krzyki żołnierzy, którzy wtedy zginęli, słychać aż do dzisiaj. Z tego powodu niewielu odwiedza to miejsce. Według wielu podań historycznych w twierdzy przetrzymywany był prastary artefakt Adanosa Rozjemca. Ostrze to, zgodnie z legendami, jest symbolem ładu i równowagi. Mówi się, że pojawia się ona jedynie w czasach niepokoju i wojen, by wspomóc wyznawców Adanosa w przywróceniu porządku.
Obrońcom twierdzy chyba niezbyt pomogło.
Nawet jeśli zdolności ostrza to tylko i wyłącznie legenda, to o samym jego istnieniu opowiada wiele autentycznych kronik. Gdyby tylko udało nam się je zdobyć, magowie wody z pewnością zmieniliby zdanie. Byłem tam podczas obrad, wielu z nich już teraz się wahało. Póki jednak Przeor wraz z Radą mają argument w postaci zawalonego mostu jako symbolu na odcięcie od świata, żaden z magów nie ośmieli się sprzeciwić.
I would hope I can ask both of these.
Riordianie, ty też uważasz, że magowie powinni interweniować?
Wyspa jest już dostatecznie pogrążona w chaosie. A siedzenie na tej skale ani trochę nie pomaga w poprawieniu równowagi. Nadszedł czas działań i wiem, że wielu z pozostałych magów myśli podobnie. Potrzebują tylko jakiegoś znaku, który im pomoże.
A co jeśli zdobycie ostrza nie wpłynie na decyzję magów?
Wtedy pozostaje nam jeszcze kilka opcji. W twierdzy oprócz ostrza powinno być mnóstwo kosztowności. Moglibyśmy za nie przekupić wszystkich opłaconych przez lichwiarza urzędników i najemników. Odebralibyśmy mu jego największy atut – złoto. Bez swoich marionetek nie miałby żadnego sposobu, by uniknąć uczciwego procesu i zasłużonej kary. Zawsze możemy też przekazać ostrze Ulrykowi jako jego należność i prosić go o wstawienie się w tej sprawie. Pomimo, że mieszka na drugim końcu wyspy, to z jego zdaniem liczy się wiele osób w mieście, szczególnie teraz, w trakcie wojny, gdy jego siły mogą być decydujące podczas obrony wyspy.
Sure.
Od czego w takim razie powinniśmy zacząć?
Razem z Kesselem mamy jeszcze kilka ksiąg do przestudiowania. Przeszłość twierdzy jest bardzo mglista, a wyruszenie tam bez odpowiedniej wiedzy jest równe z samobójstwem. Masz, tobie też przyda się przynajmniej podstawowe pojęcie o tym miejscu. Spotkajmy się za jakiś czas w lesie prowadzącym do ruin. Znajdziesz go na północ od farmy Bermara.
Jak pewnie zauważyłeś, między wodnym kręgiem a magami nie dzieje się ostatnio najlepiej.
Nie, you don't say.
Przeor wolałby, żebyśmy całymi dniami siedzieli w klasztorze, a niektórzy arcymagowie najchętniej całkowicie rozwiązaliby naszą organizację. A właśnie dlatego od jakiegoś czasu spotykaliśmy się w tej opuszczonej chacie. Tylko tam mogliśmy spokojnie planować dalsze postępowanie bez obaw o reakcję magów.
Magowie nie mają nic przeciwko?
Magowie to nasi duchowi przewodnicy, a nie zwierzchnicy. Naszym zadaniem jest dbać o równowagę, szczególnie gdy magowie zdają się o tym zapominać. Cholera. Przecież to ten przeklęty Retok zaproponował chatę jako miejsce spotkań. Lichwiarz musiał go mieć w kieszeni już od dłuższego czasu. Pewnie dlatego zaczął tak mocno agitować przeciwko lichwiarzowi. Chciał nas zmylić. Niestety, co się stało, tego już nie cofniemy. Musimy zdobyć rozjemcę i powstrzymać lichwiarza. Po drodze mógłbyś trochę poćwiczyć. Władanie mieczem czy strzelanie z kuszy. Kto wie, jak na ciebie wpłynęło to całe leżakowanie w klasztorze. Do zobaczenia na miejscu.
You're specifically telling me to get sword training and crossbow training. What's all this? Did you find anything interesting in the documents?
Znalazłeś coś interesującego w dokumentach Zachsa?
Tak, to protokoły przesłuchań. Jest tam też coś o twoim bracie. Najlepiej będzie, jeśli przeczytasz to sam. Niestety to fałszywy trop. Żaden z tych dokumentów nie świadczy bezpośrednio o winie lichwiarza.
What can you tell me about the Ring of
Co
Water?
możesz mi powiedzieć o wodnym kręgu?
Tak jak wcześniej wspominałem, jesteśmy strażnikami równowagi i porządku w służbie Adanosa. Naszymi duchowymi przewodnikami są magowie wody. To właśnie oni pomagają nam zrozumieć cel naszej posługi i sposób jej spełniania. Członkowie wodnego kręgu pozostają przez cały czas w ukryciu. Obserwują, analizują i tylko gdy zajdzie taka konieczność, przechodzą do działania. W całym królestwie Myrtany jest wiele grup wodnego kręgu. Nie utrzymujemy jednak żadnych kontaktów, by nie ryzykować demaskacji. Bo w ten sposób możemy więcej widzieć i słyszeć. Działać, będąc jednocześnie niezauważonymi. Sprawiać, by sprawy toczyły się według naszych planów. Bez pozostawania w ukryciu bylibyśmy przewidywalni, łatwi do zmanipulowania czy oszukania. No, w ten sposób nie jesteśmy już samymi ludźmi, lecz ideą.
Dlaczego chciałeś śmierci Volkera?
Facet tworzy własną armię, tuż pod nosem Rodericha. Przejmuje interesy za przyzwoleniem bezradnej gildii kupieckiej. Kto wie, jaki będzie jego następny krok? Wiele osób nie dostrzega w nim zagrożenia, a to dokładnie to, na co liczy ten szaleniec. Jedyny sposób na przywrócenie równowagi to ukrócenie jego działalności.
Możesz mnie czegoś nauczyć?
Specjalizuje się w walce bronią jednoręczną i w kuszach. Ale wiem też co nieco o pozostałych broniach. Daj znać, gdy będziesz chciał zacząć.
Okay.
Ucz mnie.
Crossbows. The mage is running around. So where is Kessel gonna go? I'm meeting Riordian in the woods on the way to Vardal. But is Kessel gonna stay here in the monastery? What is my official quest? I had a talk with Kessel and Riordian. In their opinion, the only way to convince the mages to act is to obtain the Peacemaker, an ancient blade that is supposed to symbolize order and justice. I don't think either of us believe it can have any magical properties, but perhaps it will be an incentive for these old men to act. When I feel up to it, I should meet my companions in the woods near Baramir's farm, so maybe Kessel will be there as well. Now I can see how Kondek is doing. Didn't I try that earlier? It didn't work. Could you tell me more about Vardal?
Mógłbyś mi opowiedzieć coś więcej o Vardal?
Sam nie wiem zbyt wiele. Większość ksiąg, które tu mamy, skupia się tylko na najważniejszych wydarzeniach. Słyszałem jednak, że gdzieś w podziemiach klasztoru jest mała i tajna sekcja biblioteczna z najbardziej niedostępnymi dla ogółu księgami. Jako iż arcymagowie nie popierają naszej misji, to nie mamy co marzyć o legalnym dostępie. Gdyby udało ci się tam w jakiś sposób dostać, to może znalazłbyś książkę, która rzuci nieco światła na te ruiny.
I mean, I did read every book I had the access to down there. How you doing?
Mówią, że mądrość przychodzi z wiekiem. Szkoda tylko, że członkowie Najwyższej Rady dawno zapomnieli, co znaczą te słowa.
Oh, what did that say? If I wanted to get more information on the ruins, I can try to access the locked library and the catacombs, the monastery. I'll have to find a way to get past the mage guarding the entrance. Well, he was not there. I think because he got... the prior, he cannot find his bed. This man is struggling. Do we really want this man making important decisions about the well-being of the island if he can't figure out how to get to his own bed? Maybe that's reason enough to usurp the control of the water mages. Go through the door. Okay, I give up. You do whatever. But anyway, I think Badoof, or whatever his name was, he must have left his guard at the thing, at the catacombs, in order to go do this High Council meeting, and that was how I got past him to read the books. But what I read kind of didn't tell me a whole lot about Vardal that I didn't already know. I think the main thing I learned was that Wolfzak was buried or entombed in Vardal.
Tu jesteś.
There you are.
Może tym razem twoje zapędy do ładowania się w kłopoty jakoś nam pomogą.
What is it?
O co chodzi?
Widzisz te ścierwojady na wózku? Te przedziwne okazy nieznanego jak dotąd pochodzenia pojawiły się na wyspie kilka tygodni temu. Gdy tylko o nich usłyszałem, zleciłem Kardenowi wybicie wszystkich okazów. Niestety, wygląda na to, że z dnia na dzień jest ich coraz więcej. Do tej pory Leczyliśmy tylko skutki, ale czas zwalczyć w końcu przyczynę. Masz teraz doskonałą okazję, by udowodnić, że nie jesteś karą zesłaną przez Adanosa za nasze przewinienia. Jeśli jesteś zainteresowany pomocą, to porozmawiaj z Kardenem.
Or what, you want me to exterminate a bunch of sick scavengers, or what?
Hej, ty!
Hey, you. Carden, what brings you here?
Karden, co cię tu sprowadza?
Dawno się nie widzieliśmy, co? Pamiętam, jak jeszcze niedawno parę topielców było dla ciebie wyzwaniem, a teraz wyglądasz, jakbyś mógł położyć cieniostwora gołymi pięściami. Jeśli o mnie chodzi, to staram się jakoś utrzymać na powierzchni. Odkąd Ramsey zwolnił mnie z powodu tej bestii, zacząłem pracować dla magów z klasztoru. Nigdy bym nie pomyślał, że potrzebują tylu przeróżnych rzeczy prosto z lasu.
Did Marcus also get fired? Show me your goods. You have an apple. And I don't think anything else I care about. But Rierol told me to help you.
Rierol powiedział, że mam ci pomóc.
Pomóc? Chyba raczej zająć się tą
Pomóc?
sprawą. Ja mam już dość. Ledwo przeżyłem ostatnie spotkanie z tymi paskudztwami.
Możesz mi powiedzieć o nich coś więcej?
Wyglądają prawie tak samo jak zwyczajne ścierwojady. Prawdziwą różnicę można tylko poczuć, kiedy jeden z nich cię dziabnie. Gdy pierwszy raz od takiego oberwałem, to myślałem, że jakiś szaleniec trafił mnie kulą ognia. Te bestie są naprawdę niebezpieczne.
And I was killing these things in chapter 1. It's not that big a deal.
Wiesz, skąd pochodzą?
Tego nie udało mi się ustalić. Większość z nich upolowałem w okolicy winnicy Valerio i wioski Silbach. Chociaż trafiały się też pojedyncze osobniki, które spotykałem w zupełnie innych częściach wyspy. Miejmy nadzieję, że ty będziesz miał więcej szczęścia niż ja. Jeśli tak dalej pójdzie, to za niedługo będą łazić po całej wyspie.
He just wants me to go searching around there? Carden said that the peck of those scavengers burns like fire, and that most of the ones hunted in the area around Valerio's Vineyard and Silbach. Did Bodevin by any chance also have a problem? Well, he did back in chapter 1. So I guess I just have to explore and find out. Traveling trader, just
Pohandlujmy.
hanging out. What do you got? Beasts and crawlers. I think I have all that. I'll buy those because I'll probably want to craft more at some point. Don't care too much about anything else. The refugees are still doing their thing. Anna is working at 1:41 in the morning. Really, it kind of looks like she's passed out sleeping, though. Hey, Anna.
Hej,
How you doing?
jak leci?
Nigdy nie zrozumiem, czemu kobiety...
Yeah, that's old news. Don't you sleep ever? You should consider that. And Arthur, is that his name? He's still running around? Oh, now there's another guy running around. Why is he running around? What is happening?
Chwila. Czemu tak biegasz?
Czekaj, muszę złapać oddech.
Chwila.
Is he exercising? Or is he suffering from some sort of like magical delusion? Might have been a random event.
W końcu wyglądasz jak człowiek. Magowie wody naprawdę są mistrzami magii leczenia.
A jak radzisz sobie ty?
Udało mi się nie sięgnąć po butelkę ani razu od czasu naszego ostatniego spotkania. Jestem z tego dumny. Jednak wciąż czuję tą samą pustkę, co wcześniej. Co, jeśli wszystko, co robi nasz zakon, nie ma żadnego wyższego celu? Zacząłem nawet rozmawiać na ten temat z kilkoma magami wody. Zaproponowali mi zgłębienie tekstów z mądrościami Adanosa, ale jakoś nie jestem tego pewny. Jak czytanie o równowadze i balansie ma mi niby pomóc przywrócić wiarę w ogień sprawiedliwości Inosa? Zresztą nie będę ci już więcej zawracał tym głowy. Pewnie masz dość swoich problemów i nie możesz się doczekać opuszczenia klasztoru.
Well, I was planning to leave pretty soon, but I don't think the point of you reading about Innos is it's not about to you reading about Adanos is not to rekindle your faith in Innos. It's supposed to give you like more perspective. Oh god, I can't. Here we go. Warrior of Innos. Kondak has stopped drinking, but he still can't deal with his doubts. I need to find some suitable act for him that will restore his faith. I should search around the monastery. Maybe someone needs the help of a paladin. Well, okay. How is it
Jak się
going?
mają sprawy?
Muszę przyznać, że na ciebie liczę.
That's old news. Alright, well, at this point, it's been almost 2 hours. I'm kind of in like a weird state where all I can really do is start up some of these other quests. So I think I will brew up a dragon root potion.
Cholera, co się dzieje?
With my 1 dragon root. And then I will drink my potion. Oh, I also have a note from Yorn I should read, probably. Elixir of Strength. Elixir of Spirit. I also got a Ring of Water that I should double check. Where is that? What does a Ring of Water give? I kind of stole it real fast and had to get out of there. So increases spell damage, don't care. Maximum mana, don't care. I also got a book. Report of the interrogations. Decrypted report from Yorn's interrogation. Prisoner 31. Interrogation number 5. Information gained, none. General comments. Despite using a variety of methods to extract information, the prisoner has still not revealed anything useful. He seems most susceptible to being waterboarded and burned with a glowing rod, but this mostly evokes very private and traumatic memories. He mentions something about his father's smithy several times in his hallucinations. It seems he blames himself for his father's death. Either this bald bastard is damn hard to crack, or he really has no idea about the mutineers' organization. Is that referring to the Ring Water? But either way, the boss's orders are clear. Interrogate until he confesses to something. At least I'll be able to try out Bradlock's new toys on him. So, nothing terribly useful. We know that their dad died. I'm still not sure how it happened exactly, but apparently both their parents died. I think maybe the dad died first, and then mom died, and then we dug up her corpse to steal an amulet from her casket to pay our way to get to here. But basically just that, I think the dad, he ran the smithy or something in Londrum, outside of Londrum or something. But he blames himself for his father's death. Sure. And then somewhere I got a book about the halls of corridors of Vardal. So, whatever one may write about these legendary dungeons, someone on Archolos will consider it nonsense. Destroying the chronicles of the island by Myrtanians has had its effect. Now, hardly anyone is able to distinguish between legend and fact. Only through logic and residual records can we guess what lies in the bowels of this ancient fortress. We can be almost sure of the huge treasures hidden in the halls of Vardal, collected over the years by the owners of the fortress, and which, due to the curse on the place, have not had a chance to be plundered. But does the fortress hide something whose value cannot be estimated? Does it really hide the tomb of the island's unifier Volstak? Was the powerful Adanos artifact, the Peacemaker, deposited there with him? Here, unfortunately, we have more rumors than real historical sources at our disposal. At one point, there was some talk about the water mage is giving Wolfzak some item that he was super proud of and would display somewhere. So maybe that was... maybe that was the Peacemaker. And then maybe the Peacemaker is in fact buried with Wolfzak. And so now he's here guarding that.
Nikt bez wyraźnego pozwolenia nie może zejść do podziemi klasztoru.
Co jest?
Za moimi plecami.
So I don't know how I would get past him. Other than what I already did. Which was to just coincidentally go there when he was busy at the High Council. And it's 3 in the morning, so he doesn't sleep apparently. The only other thing, like, do I have a sleep spell that I could use on him? I could do a sleep spell. I could try that. Problem is, unless the game has spawned more books, then I don't think there's anything there for me to find. Oh, he just woke up immediately. That's fine. Oh, what do you know? Now I can loot a book that I couldn't loot before. I'd be surprised if that was there and I missed it somehow. So nothing. Nothing. So this is where they told me to go, right? I want to get more information. I can try access to the locked library in the catacombs. I'll have to find a way to get past the mage. It's not really locked, it's just... I mean, did I have to pick a lock to open these doors? So what did I get? Circle of Magic Volume 4? One of these ones, so... I got something out of it, I guess. What's a sleep spell worth? 150? I technically got profit out of that. But I don't see any other new books, so I must have already read the one Arcanum whatever. Arcanumarum. Can't be anything else in here, right? So that's probably all I need from there. I don't know if there's a quest entry after reading all these that would help with anything. I'll just double check. So I've now read all of those since picking up the quest. No quest entry. And then I had this one. And then this one. None of those gave quest entries. So it's just pure supplemental knowledge. But I think on that note, I should probably end the session here. Oh god.
Słyszałem tam jakieś odgłosy ostatniej nocy.
Ale skąd tam się wzięły te wszystkie bestie?
Ja nie zamierzam mówić o tym magom. Sprzątanie cmentarza to nasz przydział. I znając ich zasady, to my będziemy mieli przez to kłopoty.
Ciszej, ktoś tu jest.
Please continue.
Nie przeszkadzajcie sobie.
Czego chcesz? To prywatna rozmowa.
Spójrz na niego. Wygląda jakby potrafił sobie poradzić z bestią czy dwiema. Może nam jakoś pomoże.
Powiecie mi, co się tutaj dzieje, czy nie?
Dobrze, już dobrze. Mamy problem. I to całkiem spory. Od jakiegoś czasu, praktycznie każdej nocy usłyszeć można dziwne odgłosy pochodzące z cmentarza. Początkowo myśleliśmy, że to może jedynie wiatr czy szum oceanu, ale dzisiaj znaleźliśmy ciała tych bestii porozrzucane między grobami. Jeśli mam być szczery, to nie mam pojęcia, co z tym zrobić. Jesteśmy opiekunami cmentarza, a naszym zadaniem jest dbanie o spokój zmarłych i czystość okolicy.
Mamy jeszcze tylko rok do próby wody. Jeśli magowie uznają, że to nasza wina, to możemy zapomnieć o święceniach w ciągu najbliższej dekady.
Właśnie! Może mógłbyś się zająć sprawieniem, że te ciała znikną i że nie pojawią się już żadne następne?
Nie mamy zbyt wiele, ale z chęcią oddamy ci część naszych zwojów i ksiąg.
Alright, I'll consider it. I'll check out the cemetery.
Sprawdzę ten cmentarz.
Dziękujemy. Wyświadczysz nam wielką przysługę.
Might possibly be a job for Kondak, as the quest entry suggests. But that'll be for next time, I think, to resolve a couple of these side quests here. I want to go back to the city and see if I can talk to Court about our dear departed Yorn. And I don't know, maybe I might need to do a little bit more exploration on the island, see if there's any new quests around town or guild promotions, stuff like that. So that'll be the plan for next time.